Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Myzta Hamblen, from down in the 903 with Myzta Hamblen. You know who I am. So I'm coming to you right now from my studio at home. Look, it's a mess right now. I've been doing a lot of work on these episodes, on my reaction videos, on my own music, on my classes, so on and so forth. Speaking of classes, had a chance to sit down and interview a man with nothing but class, the legendary Mr. Lee. If you don't know who this cat is, I just like with Quake, I don't know if we can still be friends. This guy has produced everybody. Works with Nipsey Hussle, Scarface, Tupac, Jay Z, UGK, Slim Thug. Man, seriously, the who's who in the rap and hip hop world. He's worked with him. Had a chance to sit down and do an interview with him, man. Totally laid back cat, man. Got some great advice for artists, some awesome stories to tell, and has opened a school, XMG School of Music and Business, which I am proud to say I am now a student of, so I can learn more on my mixing and mastering. Anyway, so I goofed. You'll notice it at the end of the interview, or at the end of this video that you're about to watch. My cameras had quit working. One of them had quit working towards the end of the interview, and so some of the footage is missing, but the audio is all there. So what I did is I just laced it with some B-reel. So y'all are actually going to get to see some looks at his studio on the inside. It is literally in an old bank vault. When I called him up and said, hey, I'm here, how do I get in? He gave me the code to get through the door and said, when you get to the vault, go in. I'm like, the vault? I walked in and see this huge, freaking massive, 2-foot thick bank vault door open, and I'm going in there. So you get to see it, man. The layout's pretty cool. You get to see the mixing board that was the board that was used to mix Nirvana's first album. Yeah, the Smells Like Teen Spirit album. It was used for it, man. So it's a little piece of history, man. But anyway, check it out. You get some footage of the school, some details about the school and what's going on. You can find them at XMG School of Music. Man, enjoy. Take care. Uh-huh. Down in the 903 with Myzta Hamblen. What up, East Texas? No fakers, no feelers, feeling the feelings and feel the pain. Feeling the villain and killing feelings and everything. Ashamed that all the mess that I'm hearing from east to west it sound the same. You're looking for the cure and poison the game, no straight. I want the fire to make my eardrums bleed. Feel the heat, let 16 Beretta cock and release. Call me Mr. Zilla, southern breed, a lyrical beast. And all my people some hungry go-getters, and now we feast. It's about a family's patience, patiently waiting for greatness. It's about coming from nothing and struggle because we hate this. We empty out our pockets while hoping to make a dime. About the grind and the grind, can you hear us? About time. What's happening, gang? Welcome to another episode. I think this is like my third episode, man. And you're the number 3. Don't feel bad that you wasn't number 1, man. I mean, I had to wait to schedule, you know. You're still number 1 in my book, though. All right? Third episode of Down in the 903 with Myzta Hamblen. Y'all know who I am, man. And if y'all don't know who this is, just don't watch me no more. I'm just saying, man. This is Mr. Lee. Platinum producer, has worked with everybody. Bun B, Short, Jay Z. Man, look. Basically take your top 10 playlist in rap music. Alright? And that's who he's worked with. Alright? And if who he's worked with isn't in your top 10 in rap, then you really need a history lesson and you need to learn what you're doing. Anyway, appreciate you for taking me in, man, and being on the show with me. Man, so now I know a lot about you. All right, I do my homework. Some things I found out recently that surprised me, though, and we'll get to them later on. But I don't know if you're aware of what the show's about, but my show is about everything rap, hip hop, and R&B related out of East Texas area. There's just a huge amount of talent that comes out of East Texas. I mean, we got 2 of them right here. All right, that partners. What's up, Courtney? What's going on, baby? But man, there's so much talent that comes out of East Texas, and my show is all about getting it out there. And I love doing interviews with people like you, people like Quake, Benet Embry, people who are not necessarily in East Texas, but maybe have some advice, some things they can help East Texas artists out with. It ain't that I don't love rap and hip hop music from all over the place. I really do. But East Texas is my home, and in East Texas, we definitely look out for each other.
Right.
So that's what the show's about. Again, man, appreciate you having me here. This is like a really, really big thing to me because I know who you are. Okay? How long have you been doing this now? How long have you been producing music now?
About 24 years.
24 years. Yeah. See, y'all, he just looks this young. I'm saying.
I'm all the motherfucker.
Okay, parental advisory. If words like motherfucker offend you, don't watch the rest of this. No, you good, man. You straight. So, what got you started?
I've always been in music. I've been doing music since I was 9. Whether it was playing in church or being in a band in high school or junior high, being in orchestras. I've been doing it ever since I've been, old enough to remember it.
Right on. Now, for those of y'all who don't realize this man is a classically trained pianist. I watched a YouTube, and I didn't even know that. I watched a YouTube video when I started talking to him about coming up and interviewing him, and he was talking about it. That is really, believe it or not, you'd be surprised how many of your favorite hip-hop and rap artists or producers actually have that kind of talent. You got people like Mobb Deep that went to Juilliard. Yeah, I mean, you got Tupac. Everybody knows his story. He went to a special school just for the performing arts. But you're a classically trained pianist. Who taught you how to play?
I took piano lessons from a cousin. My family's one of my cousins. He's an older guy. His name is Reverend Joseph Johnson. That's who I took my piano lessons with.
Okay.
He pretty much taught me everything I know now as far as piano stuff is concerned, and I was playing in bands since 6th grade.
Okay.
So, I've been doing it a long time.
That sounds a lot like mine. First time I got on stage, I was 3, singing with my dad's, honky tonk that my Uncle Ray Martin owned in Gladewater. Singing with my dad's band, I sang Devil Went Down to Georgia, Take This Job and Shove It, and Jack Daniels, If You Please. So music, I'm like you, music has just been something that's been part of my life. Before I was able to walk and understand good, I was involved in music. Right. Now, what got you into the actual production side of it? Take me back to when you first got that itch and got that bug.
It had to be in the early 90s. I had a rap group in Alexandria, Louisiana called 4 Deep. It was a couple of my friends, and I was the producer of the group and a rapper in the group. And that's pretty much where I started.
Oh, yeah? Now, who taught you how to get behind the controls? Or were you, like so many other people, self-taught, just picking it up?
Just picking it up.
Okay.
Just picking it up.
Right on. And some of the best producers that I've read about or actually talked to, that's how they got into it. I don't know if you've heard of him. There's a man named Bob Millsap. He was cousins to the Ronnie Millsap, blind piano player, country musician. Bob Millsap is actually, he did the engineering production work for Anne Murray's album with the song You Needed Me. Just off that one song, he made over $900,000 and was still collecting royalties on it up until he passed. When we first started rapping, that's who produced our first album. Mm-hmm. And that's how he, just like you and so many others, got into it. He just started getting into it on his own and picked it up on his own. Now, from when you first started producing to now, how much has changed?
A lot's changed. A lot's changed. When I first started, it was all analog. Mm-hmm. Went from analog. It was even the way we got our music was over the mail. We didn't have internet.
Right.
So it went from that to analog to starting to work in like Logic. Mm-hmm. Not Logic, but Pro Tools. And then you had Digital Performer, Reasons.
Yeah, you started going so many of them now.
To now, just full-fledged, just digital. So.
Now you don't even have to. It used to be if you wanted to do a song with somebody, you had to either go to their studio or they'd come to yours or something like that. Now it's a deal where you can just track it out and send it over to them, and they'll have their producer do the mixing. You can mix it yourself, whatever. And then so many, there's like you said, Pro Tools. There's Logic. There's some people still record with Vegas.
Sonar.
Sonar. I use Sonar. It's what I started out using years ago. Now I couldn't tell you what Bob used his setup. Like ours, my setup is a desk, my computer, and a small mixer for controlling sound on my microphone. Everything else on the computer. All this I don't have because it wouldn't fit in my spare room. But I've helped build huge studios. My dad was a local musician, like we was talking about a moment ago, and we built a studio into a friend of his shop for recording live instruments and talking soundboard, going recording reel to reel, stuff like that. So whenever my dad, he had went to prison when he got out, and we were already recording music, he said, "Well, how many tracks can you record?" "As many as I want." "Well, yeah, but how many of them?" "An infinite amount." And when he first came and checked out our setup and seen it, he was just blown away by everything we were able to do now. Now, you know a lot of the, I don't want to say older, but musicians or producers that's been doing this for years and years and years ago that are still in the business that still use some of the classic mixed with the new, or have some of them that have completely switched over.
Yeah. I'll
use a little bit of everything.
I like packing a bunch of keyboards and having a bunch of that in my studio when I'm creating, because I can always find a computer sound that's going to be close, just as close as the actual keyboard. So to me, it's like, okay, I don't need them.
Right. Now, it helps when you're being creative and you're like, I watched a video of you a little while ago while I was waiting on you to get here. The gentleman who has the radio station upstairs was showing me that he was shooting, and you were sitting here working on a beat for Nipsey, I believe, and you were playing your keyboard. Now, something like that, it's easier to have your keyboard in front of you because punching and clicking and adjusting volumes one note at a time, man, that can take forever.
Yeah, I'm going to play the keyboard. I got controllers that I use on my computer, but as far as just having keyboards that plug in with sounds in them, and I don't do that.
Yeah, Bob, we had 4 keyboards stacked for different sounds and everything else, but that's how he knew how to record. That's the only way he knew. And he was great at it. So, I mean, that's how we ended up having to do that then. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. Out of all the artists that you've worked with, okay, who was your favorite one to work with that you enjoyed working with just the most?
Yeah, that's tough. It's really two. Three. It's 3. It's Scarface, Slim Thug, and Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
I can't say one because I've been on the whole journey with Slim Thug for over 20 years. I've been on the whole journey with Nip since 07, and I've been rocking with Face since 96, 97. And to me, Face is the most talented rapper alive.
Man, this is no lie, my honest opinion, greatest album of all time, of any genre, in my opinion, is still Scarface the Diary.
Yeah.
That is my...
That was before I got there. And it's incredible, bro.
That is an amazing... I really feel... Now, don't get me wrong, I've been jamming the Ghetto Boys since I was high school and junior high age. First time I heard them, I was blown away. And I really feel like on the Diary, that's when I feel like that album is what set Face apart from every other rap artist, period. Not just Southern rap artists, but every other rap artist, period. Now, you had the Ghetto Boys, you had UGK, you had so many rap groups that were starting to build up momentum in developing the sound that the South is known for, the laid-back sound and stuff like that. But when Face come on the scene with his music, with that album, man, you had a little bit of West Coast style to it. He had Ice Cube on it with Hand of the Dead Body. I mean, it just went on and on and on. And that, to me, like I said, hands down, favorite album of any genre of all time. Plus, there just really ain't nothing that competes with music out of the 90s to me anyway. But so Face, Nipsey, and Slim Thug. Now, tell me about this project you're working on with Nipsey now.
I don't know what the title of it is yet. Basically, me and Nip sat down. We did the Blue Laces first. Mm-hmm. The first Blue Laces that was on a mixtape that he released. It really was supposed to be an album, but he ended up getting out of that deal. And then the second album came along, and he hit me. It's like, yo, let's do the Blue Laces again. Can you recreate it again? I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Nipsey called me and asked me to do the Blue Laces record again. And, of course, we recreated it again, and we have Blue Laces, too. So he did a concert here a few months ago, and I sat down with him, and we were just chopping it up and talking about how amazing it is to see the crowd rocking out to the song and all of that. And we decided that we're going to do Blue Laces series on every album. So
right on.
Blue Laces 3 track is already done.
Right on.
He hasn't rapped to it yet, but it's already done. So we just, going to wait and see what he comes up with next. But I'm already knowing it's going to be incredible. But it's like having Maybach Music and all of that. He's doing his own series, and his series is Blue Laces.
Okay, that's cool, man. And that, to me, I mean, you said a mouthful. You talked about how the crowd reacts to the song. I was talking a little bit ago about first time I met Quake. He come to a show that I did in Longview, and I was just a guest. I just did one song. It was mainly a showcase of local artists. They had a cat named Shoes McGee headlined it. Quake came out and critiqued everybody. Now, I did one song, and it was my song Day I Leave, which is a pretty powerful anti-bullying song. And everybody was rocking to it. And Quake, when he came out, he even said, he goes, man, I got to tell you, I ain't got nothing to say to you about how you did the song. I love the song, it's jamming. The only thing I'm going to say is when the hook's playing, be quiet, let the hook do its job, let the real folks in. Let it hook them in. And just not only when I was looking out there and I seen the crowd vibing to the song, but to hear him say, man, the song is awesome. That's really, to me, there's no greater feeling than seeing that people really appreciate your work. Because, man, some of y'all don't get, I mean, for those of y'all that are watching that aren't rap artists, hip-hop artists, R&B artists, you don't understand maybe that there really is a lot of work that goes into this. It's not just, okay, I like the sound of that beat, put me in the booth. Man, there's takes, there's retakes, there's mixing it down. There's all kinds of things that go on to make the song sound good. One of the things I like to tell folks, and I honestly feel, anybody can spit bars. It is what it is. But not anybody can really make a good song and use really good lyrics. Okay? And it don't matter. Good lyrics doesn't mean you have to have a strong, powerful message about this, about that. It can be whatever you're talking about, as long as the lyrics are good, your wordplay's where it is. Like Benet Embry said, RAP, rhythm and poetry. As long as you're doing that, but it really is a lot of work. So I understand what you're talking about whenever Nipsey looked out in the crowd and was really excited seeing people vibing to the song. That's really just an outstanding feeling. Who's been trying to think how to say this, the most fun that you've had working with an artist?
Gotta be Slim.
Slim Thug?
Yeah, gotta be Slim.
So here's the thing. Tell me a story about Slim Thug. Because he's kind of a private cat, you know what I mean? He don't really put his business out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, when he's out and about with folks and everything, I've seen where he's real cordial, says what's up to folks, things like that. But you don't really know a lot about his personal life. And I'm not asking you to do that, but just a story that my audience would like to hear. Like if you were sitting on the other side of the camera, tell me a story you'd like to hear about Slim Thug. Something that sets him apart from other rappers in South Texas.
I mean, everybody has that one rapper or one friend that they deal with that, you don't really be in a situation where it's dull, especially if you're in the studio with Slim. I remember when I was working on the Three Kings record, and I was scratching the Lil Jon cuts into the beat. I don't know how to DJ, so I'm trying to get this shit and get it on point. And at that time,
and I do DJ. It's not easy.
We on tapes. We on DDA tapes and shit like that. So and I think I had Digital Performer too. And just trying to cut this shit in. This motherfucker would not. Every time I messed up, he was cracking. Man, you can't do what the fuck you doing. You know, I mean, that's just the type of shit he do. That motherfucker just just a relentless comedian comic when you're in the studio, man. So you don't get in the studio with Slim and it's just, I'm so serious right now. I'm working. Nobody say it's just, he's always cracking jokes. It's always real light.
Right on.
With him. So that's got to be one of my funniest people that I've worked with, and people I know I can go to the studio with. If I'm having a dragged out bad day, I'm not gonna have that when I get to the studio with him.
Okay.
Yeah. Face the same way too. That motherfucker too, because we was working on Last of the Dying Breed. Face like to crack jokes, so I was ordered Bob's Big Burger. I'll never forget this shit. I was starving. The hamburger came. I sat and I fixed my hamburger up, got everything on it, put the ketchup on my fries. I was ready to get to work and eat my food and shit. So I was in a little lounge area. So I was walking back into the studio. This motherfucker was hiding behind the door, man. As soon as I walked in the door, he hit the bottom of my plate on the fucking floor, man.
Who cleaned the mess up?
Spawn dude, the runners did. I didn't. My fucking patty went rolling down the fucking thing. Motherfucker, man, yeah, face. Still, I'm gonna get you back for this shit.
Oh, that's funny,
but,
man. That's awesome.
But that, that's the funniest shit ever, bro.
Oh man, that made me cough. That was a fun one.
Yeah. And
see, I've heard some other funny stories. I gotta say, the best story I've heard so far, that I think it was you had told Mouse Quake about Pimp C and the story with Big Pimpin'.
Oh yeah.
How he just really did not want to do that song.
He didn't like the beat.
He didn't like the beat at all.
He didn't like it. He thought they was playing with him, sending it to him, and he just like, man, fuck, I'm just gonna rap the country shit that come out of my mouth on this shit. And then it happened to be one of the most famous verses of all time.
Everybody knows it. Yeah. And it's 8 bars long.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay Z in the original version of the song, Jay Z's got 2 verses, first verse and fourth verse. You got Bun B on the second verse, spitting 16 bars. You got Pimp coming in, third verse, 8 bars. And look, if you listen to rap, man, you know the song, man. You may not remember everything Jay said. Some of you don't even realize there was a fourth verse. You may not remember everything that Bun B said. But I guarantee you right now there's several people out there bobbing their head remember what Pimp C said, man.
Yeah.
And he freestyled it. He just went off with it. I thought that was really neat. I also heard a story that Toe Down told me. You know Toe Down from Houston, right?
That's my partner.
Yeah. I actually met him through a mutual friend of ours named Cody Viveros out of Houston. Mm-hmm. Shout out Cody Viveros. And me and Toe Down me and him gotten pretty tight. He told me a story about Pimp C, that he went to Pimp C mama's house and was supposed to meet Pimp C there. Pimp C was late, so he called at the house and Toe Down was on the phone with him. He said, man, go up to my room and look on my dresser right there by my bed. And he went up there and Toe Down said my album was right there. The CD was in the CD player. The volume was turned down and it was still playing. And Pimp C gave him credit, told him, man, you've created a whole new genre of rap music. You know what I'm saying? So Pimp C, that's one cat I always wished I had a chance to meet. And, well, unfortunately, I want to. We're both up there at the Heavenly Gates. But, man, but the Slim Thug story, that's funny. And Scarface, that's hilarious. If I ever get a chance to interview Scarface, I'm definitely going to say, you owe Mr. Lee a hamburger.
He did N.O. Joe the same way. N.O. Joe had some, I think he had some wings.
Uh-huh.
And he did N.O. Joe the same way. Shit just went flying everywhere.
Mental note to self, if I get a chance to interview Face, eat before I get there.
It's called Spondu. That's what he's doing. That's Spondu.
That's great. So, what's the absolute worst experience you've had in the studio? And you ain't got to say the artist's name if you don't want to.
I haven't had any.
Really?
No.
Huh. No equipment malfunctions, no artists that just couldn't.
I mean, if I did have equipment malfunction, it was I took, some knowledge from it. So I never, it's just not, I never just have no bad situations in the studio.
So what you're saying is you've taken any situation and you can always learn from it. That's what's up. And I see where he's coming from on that one. I agree with him 100%. I've had some days in the studio where my little girls got in there and started turning knobs, and it takes me an hour to figure out, okay, what has she done? Why am I not getting any sound? And then come to find out she removed one plug. But it's always something like, okay, well, if I don't hear nothing, this is what I need to check. Because, stuff just happens, Now, as far as your studio, guys, this studio that I'm sitting in right now is really nice. I've already walked through it. He's got a big enough area back there where live bands can come in and set up and play. Of course, he's got recording booths. It's really, really nice. And a lot of y'all that are watching this that do music yourselves, a lot of y'all are like me. You have your own studio set up at home. But I know in my studio, I don't allow food in it. I don't allow drinking in it. Of course, you can't even smoke in my house. What is some of the rules that you have for for the studio itself?
Don't bring no whack ass songs in here. Don't bring no whack ass songs.
Don't come in here with that bullshit.
And don't snort no cocaine on my mixing board. Don't blow no loud in my shit, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, we all good.
You heard it here, folks. No coke on the mixing board. Don't blow no loud, and don't be dumb with your music.
That's it.
What's one of your pet peeves when you're recording somebody? Like
preparedness, being ready.
Thank you.
If you're not ready, if you're not focused, then don't come in the studio wasting my time.
Thank you. That is one of my biggest things I tell folks is like, hey, this is how much I charge an hour. Have your shit down. Because the minute I power up and I'm ready to go, your time starts. And if you keep fucking up on your verse and you got to sit down and rewrite, man, you on the clock. That's on you. Now I'm making more money off of it, don't get me wrong, but it's still aggravating. Because then I'm like, hey, man, we got to wrap this up. I got somebody else coming through, and they ain't even halfway through with the song. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I feel you on that. Come prepared. Be prepared. Here's the thing, guys. It's your money. You invest in it however you want. And if you're not investing in yourself, man, then you're wasting your time even trying to pursue music. All right? Nobody owes you anything. You don't get nothing for free. So why throw money away? All right? When you come into the studio, you're fixing to have to pay for your session. That's all there is to it. I don't record anybody for free unless it's me or somebody on my team. That's it. All right? So, and I don't really cut deals. So that being said, have your stuff down, have your lyrics down, everything that you're going to say. Practice it over and over and over again. Know where you're coming in at. That way when you jump in, man, really, in my opinion, and this is just me, there's no reason why an artist can't come in and if they've got the beat laid out like they want, everything done, they know their lyrics, they got it down, they know where their ads are going to be. There's no reason why an artist, in my opinion, again, can't come in, lay down a song, be done with their part of it in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it's just mixing.
I mean, it could take days. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just having your shit together where we're working. You know, mm-hmm. If you're just standing still, spinning around, then.
And that's what I'm saying. Without wasting time coming in and getting it and just knocking it out.
If
you know what I'm saying?
Good can come out of it, then it's good. If you don't, if you're just in here and nothing happens, then you're wasting time.
Yeah, you ain't wasting money. Pretty much. Tell me about your school.
I'm on a school. It's called XMG School of Music and Business, and I'm focusing on teaching music production, not for a particular type of music, just to, give kids and people the knowledge of how to make a concept for music. I'm doing music theory. We're doing mixing engineering classes, recording engineering classes. We have business courses. We have people from Fidelity Bank coming through to teach investments and how to handle your money. Having some people coming down from BMI that's going to talk about publishing. So it's something I'm really excited about, something that I can give back to the younger people that are trying to do music, because I'm at a point that I don't want to complain about watching people do something that's not right and it's wrong and just watching it happen. I think I wanted to be proactive. So how other way can you be than, opening up a school? That's, something that is one of the best routes to take. So I've been putting my money and my time and effort into this school to open it up, to give back to the community that, put me on. Because without the general public loving my music and songs that I produce, I wouldn't have what I have now. So, you know, I just want to give back and make sure that I can spread the knowledge around and kind of help facilitate the community that I'm in.
Gotcha, man. I understand that completely. And see, that's one of the things I really like about Quake too, and is he likes to give back. You know, he does his boot camp. Mm-hmm. He does his boot camp courses, and you know, he's always down to help folks out. That's one of the things I like about him. I've always said if I ever make it big, I'm going to remember where I come from and stuff like that. Truth of the matter is, you've got so many artists though that, unfortunately, they do forget where they come from. They forgot what it was like to, you know, take every dime they got and invest it into something, and then, you know, struggle. Okay, well, what do I do? Do I need to pay can I pay my light bill this month, or can I go ahead and buy this beat? Things like that. And so many of them forget that struggle, and then when you try to approach them, they act like, and I've seen them. I'm not going to say no names, but they've acted like, man, come on. And I'm thinking, man, I know your story. I research. I'm a student of this game. Mm-hmm. I can't stand them like that. It's one of the reasons me and Toadell get along so great. You know what I'm saying? He blew up. Just doing big things. Turned around, lost it all. Now he's getting it back up, but he never forgot where he came from. When I hit him up and talked to him, man, I got to say, I got Toadell to come drive all the way to Henderson, Texas, to do a New Year's Eve party, just performing some old songs of his for a lot of Dead Off-Road. It was a party that Grumpy throws every New Year's. I was going to be there DJing it. I was going to perform a little bit. It's a free show. He said, man, is anybody that going to be able to buy merchandise? I said, I don't know, maybe. I said, but Grumpy really cuts for you. It'd be a good thing to do just to say, hey, Grumpy, I'm supporting you. And he came and did it, man. Drove all the way from Houston to Henderson, Texas, partied with us that night, drove back that night. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I've seen others that be like, yeah, I'll come up there. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars. This is where I want to stay. This is what I need in my hotel room. Then I'm like, yeah, I understand that. And I'm not saying you're not worth it, but sorry, we don't have that. Mm-hmm. But, so your school, how can somebody, let my people know, how can they get in on attending your school? What do they need to do?
Well, we have a campus here in Houston, in Dallas, and we have online classes. You can go to xmgschool.net and sign up. You can call us at 682-325-8358. You want to get a hold of us to talk about the classes, and we're offering on-site and online classes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Any chance of doing a tour of the school?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Y'all, hey, stay tuned, guys. Y'all get to see where you can check it out at. And for those of y'all who who are tuning in, like maybe just not catching up with this or whatever, you walk in on your homeboy watching my show and you wonder what's going on. I'm sitting here with Mr. Lee, platinum producer, worked with Face, Short, man, Devin the Dude, T.I., you name it, man. Chances are he's worked with him. Bun and Pimp, amazing producer. Sitting here talking with him, he just got through talking to us about his school. Say it again?
XMG School of Music and Business.
XMG School of Music and Business. We're sitting here at his studio, XMG Studios in Dallas, Texas. Say somebody wanted to hit you up about coming here and actually recording. What would they need to do?
They can go to xmgstudio.net and they can book the time. They can book me for consultations, mixing, mastering, whatever you need. You can hit xmgstudio.net.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
in school, guys, he just letting us know that you can do this online. You don't have to be here. Of course, you know, it's just my experience. There's no experience like hands-on experience. Yeah. But, like, I'm all the way in Longview. You know, that's 136 miles east of here. Kind of a long drive to come up here to go to school, especially if you like me, the kids, stuff like that. But, man, here's the thing. What this man is telling y'all is if you want to learn, okay, you have no more excuses. Okay? If you want to learn not just recording, You just said mixing, mastering, the business side of it, investing, things like that. If you want to learn that, now you have an outlet. All right, take advantage of it because there's not really a whole lot of producers and artists that are out there that are going to give you that opportunity. Fortunately, we have one here that is. So, let me think. It's another question. How'd you meet Mousequake, Norman Mousequake Barrett?
I met Mousequake at a listening party for Puka Leroy.
Okay.
That's how I met him.
Okay.
And then I met him through another producer that he was working with, B. Barber from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a judge at a beat competition that B. Barber was participating in, and he knew Mousequake and ended up telling Mousequake he ran into me. We've been friends ever since. We've been friends for a while now.
He's a good dude, man. I cut for Mousequake, man.
Yeah, he cool.
Laid back cat, man.
Mouse is a cool dude, man.
Laid back cat. Now, there's a lot of talent in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. Of course, you got the DLC up here. Everybody knows that. But there's been like a Twisted Black was up here. Now from Fort Worth. Now he, of course, doing Fed Time. But you've got so many artists that are this close to making it, and then they mess around and do something stupid. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, far be it for me to knock anybody for the hustle. You got to do what you got to do. When my baby's stomach's growling and I ain't got money in my pocket, I'm going to make sure my kid has food one way or another. However, what would you say to the artists that they don't need to hustle, but, that are actually, like, right there at the cusp of breaking through and their dream of making it big coming true? What would you say to that artist that you're doing good, you ain't filthy rich, but you far from starving, and you got the opportunity to really do something? What would you say to that artist that just can't stay out the streets?
What everybody else telling, man, if you stay in the streets, there's two things that you can get out of the streets, and that's death and incarceration.
That's it.
I was in the streets before. You know what I mean? I was facing prison time when I started making music. And when you can find a route out to be legitimate in whatever business it is, it don't have to be rap. But when you can find a legitimate way to make money, it's always best to leave that shit alone, man, because being in the streets is like Russian roulette. You can spin it around. Once that bullet hit that chamber,
it's a wrap.
Then it ain't no redos.
That's it.
And that's how the streets are. So, it's really not nothing that needs to be played with or glorified, because people losing their lives out in the streets every single day. It's people getting killed because they speaking about some shit that they supposedly are doing, and half of the motherfuckers that are getting the consequences about the street shit ain't really in the streets. People that's in the streets don't like to talk about that.
They keep it quiet.
They don't want to glorify it either, because it's a lifestyle that, it's nothing to be proud of, one, and then two, the consequences that comes with being in the streets are dire, you know what I mean? So it's like you can't put yourself in a position where you lose your life or lose being around your family because of something that you're doing out there.
I agree with you 100% there. One of the things that saved my life was having a little boy. I did go to prison. I was messing up right and left. Drugs, gangs, you name it, I got into it. That's why when people talk to me and listen to my music, they pick up on, okay, this cat knows what he's talking about. But one of the things that saved my life is like, okay, I'm going to leave all this alone. I'm done with it. I got 2 DWIs, so after the second one, I'm like, all right, I'm through drinking. I'm not going to do it. That third one's a felony. And when your name's John Hamblen, they rhyme at it. They laugh at anything that rhymes with probation. So I already knew I was going to go back down if I got another one. And then the one night I was actually had made up my mind, you know what, I'm fixing to have a drink tonight. It's New Year's. I'm going to toast New Year's with somebody. Somebody. That's when my son's mom, Amanda, came over and said we need to talk. And she told me she was pregnant. Now, when I grew up, my dad was in and out of prison. I made up my mind that if I have kids, that wasn't going to happen. So when she told me that was a wrap for me. I'm like, I'm done with everything. I gave it all up. no more drinking, no more nothing. Now, when it comes to hustling, see, here's the deal. I still hustle, but that don't mean my hustles are illegal. Photography, videography, DJing, shooting music videos, shooting commercials. That's what I initially came up here to Dallas to do today, was shoot a commercial and got to do the interview at the same time. By trade, a lot of y'all that know me know I do hair that's my trade. That's where I make my money at. So there's other things you can do to make not just money, but make good money. You ain't got to say, man, I got out of prison, ain't nobody gonna give me no job. I ain't gonna work at McDonald. Well, man, nobody said you got to. But so I'm like you, man. I don't agree with people glorifying the streets and making it out like, this is the life to have. You know what I'm saying? There's a rapper out named Tom McDonald, white guy, and he talks about, and some of his music I really like because he's got a message behind everything he's saying. And one of the things he's talking about, how he's sick. He's like, man, these rappers, they went from teaching me how to think for myself to now they're teaching me to pop Xanax bars and drink all the time, and that every woman's a hoe. And he's like, and he don't agree with that, and I see where he's coming from on that. What is, if you had just one piece of advice that you could give an aspiring artist, no matter the genre, but especially rap, hip hop, R&B, just one piece of advice you could give them that would help further their career or help further their music or just help them out in any kind of way, what would be your, if somebody was to say, okay, I'm only going to give you one chance to tell everybody something that does music that they just absolutely need to know to help them, what would it be?
Know the business.
Know the business.
Gotta know the business. The business is the most important piece of this puzzle that we work in. Because, talent, when you have talent, that's the easy part. But being able to monetize off your talent is the most difficult thing there is, because you have to know the business in order to make money.
I can see that. I really can, because there's a rap artist that used to be with my group. I'm that coldest I've ever heard in my life. I'd put him up against Eminem, face anybody, and he could hang with him, if not do better. Just phenomenal. But he got twisted off on drugs, and when he can still do some of the best lyrics ever, but his mind's on, I just want to record music, everything needs to just come to me. And I tried to tell him, like, man, here's the thing, you've got all the talent in the world. I told him, man, you got more talent in your pinky nail than just about anybody else I know. But your talent's only going to get you so far if you don't know what to do with it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that's got talent. There's so many people out there trying to rap now. But if you don't know the business end of it, if you don't know how to channel your music, if you don't know the avenues you need to take to get it out there, then that's where you're missing the boat. Like the man said, his school is actually teaching the business side of it. So down in the links below, you're going to see information on, you can go on his website, you can get information for this. Rewind this if you need to hear what he had to say again about his school. Now, I think that's about it for the interview segment of this. Now, I do, however, have this thing I like to do. And the ETX Rock Show calls it, wait, what? Me, I call it, what the, huh? And all it is just, I'm going to ask you some off-the-wall questions that don't make no sense. But just to shake it up a little bit and see what your answer was. I think my favorite section on this, segment on this when I did this was when I did when I interviewed Quake. One of the questions I asked him was between, who was it? Diana Ross and Halle Berry. Who would you rather have make you a sandwich?
It just depends on what Diana Ross it is. If it's young Diana Ross, then yeah, I'm gonna, we can take a look. But if it ain't, then I'm going to go with that Berry.
Oh, that's great, man. That's awesome. Oh, let me find them questions on here. I got them all on here. If evolution is true, how did sloths make the cut?
Say that again.
If evolution is true, how did sloths make the cut?
I have no fucking clue.
Let's see. Okay. What happens if you get scared half to death twice?
What have I done? Whatever happened to have me scared to death twice? I ain't gonna be around for that shit to happen the first time. I'm out.
See, what's another good one on here? All right. If you were a cannibal, do you think clowns would taste funny?
Yeah.
Why?
That greasy ass makeup on.
Man, that's awesome. Well, look, man, I again appreciate you spending your time with me, letting me sit here in your studio and learn some things from you. Y'all stay tuned. We're fixing to take a tour of his school. Now, it's still under construction, I'm sure. So, just understand when you come there, it's probably going to look a whole lot different. Long enough for it to become a second home?
Yeah, I got repaired. I ended up looking at it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
What is all that?
It's not.
I'm trying to get out the way.
I'm glad you was up there. I'd hate to have to walk back downstairs.
You need this key?
No.
Okay.
So this is where the vocal booth is gonna be. We got some drums in there right now. It's all cedar wood and all of that cool shit.
Right on.
This is where the studio is gonna be. We're doing the walls and stuff right now. We're getting ready to put the floor in. As you can see, we got the floor material here. So this is where the studio room will be, where we'll be teaching mixing and mastering classes, and recording engineering classes will be done in here.
So what do you prefer, Rockets or Yamahas? Do you hear me? So which one do you prefer, Rockets or...
Yamahas, those are just some temp shit that we got put up in there. We're gonna have Yamahas in there. And this is where the classrooms are gonna be. Every classroom will look like this. We will be seating 8 people per class to keep it intimate, where everybody can learn and not have too many people in where you can't ask questions and stuff. And we'll have TVs on the walls and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really, really, really dope. The classes are about 45 minutes long.
So smaller classes for more personalized time with the teachers.
Yep.
Right on.
And we have a total of 4 classes in here. We have 2 back in the back and 2 in the front.
R.I.P. PMC. Okay. So, who is on your can't wait to work with list?
That's tough, because I really can't wait to work with them. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just really open right now. I think once you've done people like Jay Z, Scarface, LL Cool J and people like that, then you know what I mean, the Kane West wait list is kind of expired at that point in time.
Yeah, pretty much when you've worked with everybody.
Yeah, so
You know,
I'm just really anxious to get out there and do some things. I'm planning some trips out to Atlanta. You know, the Migos is definitely on the top of that list. People like T.I., Lil Baby, people like that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of people that I'm talking to right now.
Okay. So what about doing any work with, say, Eminem?
Yeah, that'd be dope too. Definitely. You know what I mean? Eminem is definitely somebody I can definitely vibe with for sure.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite artists. Lyrically, he's just...
Yeah, he's a beast.
He had that song he did, Chloroseptic, the remix on it, and going off on everybody talking bad about him on this album that just came out of his. And he pretty much told him, man, his words were, I cut my fan base in half and I still outsold you.
Yeah. True story.
What about underground artists that you're really into?
Yellow Beezy definitely one. But, you know, you really can't call him underground now. He just got a big deal.
Yeah. He came to Tyler not too long ago and performed.
Yellow Beezy's definitely on top of that list. Don Tolliver is another one from Houston. He's on that list too. That's dope. He just got a deal with Travis Scott.
Right on.
So yeah, people like that.
Yeah. What about Tech Nine?
Sauce Twins, Tech Nine too. Tech Nine is not really underground anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, he's his own independent label, but
yeah, Tech Nine is a guru.
yeah, Tech Nine's a beast, man, and puts on basically one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's been doing it consistently.
Yeah, he's a touring giant. I mean, he makes the Forbes list every year for the #1 independent artist in the world.
Yeah.
When you can consecutively make $8 million a year without a major label, you doing something.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
But well, gang, that's a wrap, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Please keep coming. Look, man, if you're an artist and you want me to check out your music, please email me at thatdamnham@gmail.com. That's THATDAMNHAM@gmail.com. Thank you to my guest, Mr. Lee, legendary producer, for letting us come in, check out his school. Remember, check the links below. We'll have websites for you to go to XMG. Check him out. Man, look, artists, please listen to what this man had to teach and what he had to say, because he's trying to lace y'all up. The game's free on my show. Anything else, hey, if you can't invest in yourself, what are you investing in? Anyway, Mr. Lee, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, man. God bless. I'll see y'all next time.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow, of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks. ETX